Yesterday we already took a look at Grimmsnarl in the Open Great League, which did not really work that well. But today we're going to take a look at Morgrem, and Morgrem is so much more promising. And trust me if I tell you, this team was amazing, Morgrem was amazing, and it's completely a different story compared to yesterday. So, hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at a team with Shadow Nidoqueen, the Morgrem as well as the Murkrow. This team is going to be very solid, and I had a lot of fun with it. So let's dive right into the battles. We're going to start off with a great lead of a Ninetales against Azumarill, which is going to be a lead which we're going to want to stay in for a little bit, but then we had lag, and then we see Furret stopping in. But now we're going to see why Morgrem is so much better compared to that Grimmsnarl. We have a ton more bulk, and Morgrem is honestly definitely yet another, not fully evolved Pokemon that is absolutely, busted, I wouldn't say directly, but very strong. Here we're going to have now the full farm against Furret. We are in a position where we can realign ourselves. And look at this, by the way. I go for the play rough, and we will see here that the opponent swapped out into something. What did they swap into? Their own Morgrem, and they go down straight away, and they forfeit the first battle. Yeah, it was just, definitely five-heading there and trying to predict them swapping into their own Morgrem, obviously. But yeah, we're going to be able to here now see the swap out into the Stunfisk. And this is going to be a totally fine matchup for us again. We're going to see here again the difference between Grimmsnarl and Morgrem. Morgrem can take 2 hits. Grimmsnarl cannot. Grimmsnarl would have been already dead at this point. Morgrem can take those hits. Morgrem can still pressure opponents with a charge move, with a fast move. And it's so much better. It is such a stronger Pokemon. It needs fully XL candy basically. I think mine is level 48 or something, because I have a little bit of an attack investment on mine, which is fine. It's the best one that I got throughout the event, and I want to showcase this Pokemon anyway. I waited until the event was over. I traded all of my one as well in order to get those candies, by the way, if you're wondering on how did I get all the XL candy for this Pokemon already. I was able to get around 150 XL candy thanks to having a Mega Evolution on the entire event, as well as catching those, as well as doing some Grimmsnarl raids, and the rest I got through trading. As on every Sunday throughout the season basically already, you are able to get 2 guaranteed rare candy XL, or like rare candy, just XL candy. 2 guaranteed XL candies, I would say, for a specific species if you trade them. And that is such a fantastic bonus. It is honestly one of the strongest bonuses that we had in ages. Like, it's really something I would recommend you to try your best to find someone to trade on a Sunday. It is such a good thing because you also have a higher lucky chance for Pokemon. And it is just amazing to get so many XL candy for a Pokemon without really having to try that much. Like, you just have to catch them and you get 2 for each guaranteed. That means if you catch around 100 of a certain Pokemon, if even, here in this case I only need around like 60 Impidimp, you are able to just go ahead and get a fully XL Pokemon, and that is kind of crazy. Like, that is really nice. That is something that helps out a ton, and I hope that they just keep up the trade Sunday for all the seasons now, because it's honestly one of my favorite events, which is kind of funny because I usually don't trade, but this event is so strong, I always kind of participate. Anyway, again, we see another great matchup from our Morgrem, and now we're only going to have the Azumarill left with our Murkrow here in the back. And this is going to allow us to get a lot of damage onto them and knock them out ultimately. We're going to have a great lead here, and I have to say, I did do the battles while watching a movie at the same time as well, and this was maybe not the ideal way of concentrating on everything. I would have done a few of the things a little bit differently, which is fine. I just wanted to chill out a little bit after the event, and that was kind of nice. Played just watch a movie with family, which is quite cool. And so we're going to see here as well that maybe not every play is perfectly fine. Here it looked like I lagged a little bit, but I think I still had like perfect possible alignment, which is fine. This is going to be okay. Foul play is coming through, and we're going to get another foul play in. I didn't know if I would survive another Incinerate, so I just went for the safe play and went straight for it basically. And turns out I wouldn't have survived another move, so that is kind of fine. I am going to use a shield here. That is going to be the overheat, and they're going to swap out here, of course, straight away. And it's going to be the chestnut. What I mean with I could have played things a little bit differently and a little bit better if I concentrated more is I should have swapped out here already. I need my Nidoqueen. I thought I could go for 3 and then swap out, and I did not expect that I was not able to get there, but then also I didn't really expect that I would not be able to survive a hit. And so if I just stopped out earlier, I would have been able to definitely win this battle. There's no doubt about this in my opinion, because here they tried to do their best against Morgrem still. And we are getting insanely close and still even winning this battle with my Morgrem, which is kind of crazy. after having all those troubles. I'm literally on the charge move. If I had one more turn, I would have been fine. But I feel like this would have been easily winnable if I just were able to swap out straight away into my Morgrem against the opponent's Chestnut. Yeah. Say Grimmsnarl. Nobody is running Grimmsnarl right now. Anyway, Morgrem again. Here I could have stopped out a little bit earlier. Again, I just maybe didn't pay the most amount of attention there all the time. But I tried my best here. I tried my best against the Fortress. And we're going to have a very solid matchup for us. This team is still, I went way positive by the way with this team. I went crazy positive. I think I went 10-5 with this team. This is really, really solid. Especially, I could have maybe played one or two of those battles better, as you just saw as well. So going 10-5 with a team like this, with a Pokemon like Morgrem, kind of showcases that this team has so much potential. And honestly, by the way, Nidoqueen was amazing. Shadow Nidoqueen is absolutely underrated. If you wonder why I wanted to go for the Shadow Nidoqueen is because I wanted to counter other Clodsires, which you saw already early on. And that's the main reason why I went for Nidoqueen over the Clodsire. You can still go for Clodsire yourself, but I kind of like to have Mud Step damage in, and that is kind of the main reason why I went for it. But here we see the Murkrow going to be able to farm on the Melamar. We have a ton of energy, and that energy is going to go up now against the Diggersby. We're going to be able to go for one Drill Peck here, that's fine. That's going to allow us to hit the Fortress, that's not ideal. We're going to stop out of here then, and I can go for the Poison Fang. And that means now that I do more damage with my Charge Moves on my Murkrow. Because we're not the Shadow Murkrow, we are not yet in range for a Fire Punch either. And that means as well that I should be in a very solid spot. I do think that here the Drill Peck is going to do a lot of damage. We have a lot of attack, and we are going to do some nice neutral damage here with the defense drop onto them. But it's not enough to knock them out, and so we have to see if we can fully farm them down. But I don't think, again, this is yet the Fire Punch range. It's a non-step move, and yes, we still survive. And with that, we're going to be able to move on to the next opponent, where we will face a Charger Bug. This is going to be great. This is going to be no Greninja hopping in, and we're going to be able to stop out into our Murkrow to catch the move. A lot of times they bait, and that's why they decide to let the move go, and they decide to go for the Ninetales, which is perfect for us, because now I am going to be able to shield this next move up, which is going to be yet another Ninetales. It's fine by me though. And I'm just going to be able to align myself. That's kind of something that I just kind of value quite a bit here. As we can go for the Drill Peck, the opponent decides to let the move go. And we have now the Charger Bug against us here. And we're going to have later the Charger Bug against our Nidoqueen, where we are going to be able to take any kind of hit unless they are running Crunch, which is, especially in the lead, way more like rarer. Like you would see mainly Crunch if it is as a safe swap, because it hits the Ghost type Pokemon for super effective damage. But as you will see here, we are going to have Pokemon here with the Nidoqueen that completely destroys them. But we see also the Altaria stopping in, and now it's time for Morgrem. Morgrem is going to be able to take a hit. Double resist the fast move of Altaria, so we have no fast move pressure against us. We can take the Sky Attack here as well, and we can just go for the Foul Play spam. Foul Play is doing some solid damage here, the opponent is debuffed. Our fast move damage is adding up like crazy, like we do the same amount of fast move damage here so far as the opponent did with the big charge move and the fast moves together. So that kind of showcases again what Morgrem can do, as Morgrem is going to be able to go for yet another charge move, which is going to knock out the opponent's Charger Bug, and in comes the Altaria again, and Morgrem just takes down the entire team. That's all that happens here. Morgrem is for sure the better Pokemon to get for this, for the Great League meta generally right now. So, next opponent, we're going to have here the Sandslash against us. This is going to be a matchup that is okay for us, because they are going to be able to go for some super effective fast move pressure, but we're going to be forced to invest at least one shield here, and that's all it takes, so we can fully farm them down. And comes Azumarill. Azumarill was crazy common for me right now as my opponent, which I didn't really expect, because this team itself is a bit weak to this Pokemon. Our lead is alright here. Our Murkrow can be alright as well. But generally speaking, Azumarill has super effective coverage against our entire team, and that is going to be a bit problematic. In comes the Blastoise, which is not really better for us. Blastoise is going to be a very tough Pokemon, as we don't have a clear answer to you either. Murkrow is going to try its best to do as much damage as possible, but I just barely not reach to the next and final charge move there from us. And the opponent still has a shield left, which makes it all a little bit more awkward. Morgrem is here going to be up against the Blastoise. I tried to stop out the entire time, didn't work out. Skullbash is coming through, doing a lot of damage, but we can still go for the full farm now, and they're still going to have only the Azumarill in the back, which we can try to hit here with a one player off. Let's see if they go to shield or not, and they decide to let the move go, and with that we are going to be able to win this battle, and Morgrem yet again won this battle for us. And that's just something important that I want to say here as well, is just that Morgrem is a Pokemon that did carry sometimes even in battles. And this means that this Pokemon is not just like a filler or anything like this. And that's kind of cool because, again, I was really disappointed yesterday with the other Pokemon that we had there. I forgot the name of him. The Grimmsnarl. I was really disappointed for like Grimmsnarl because Grimmsnarl is like a Pokemon that, yeah, it should have been cooler and will be most likely cooler back like in a later day when we have like Spirit Break on it. But currently just really didn't do anything. Like it really just didn't do anything. It didn't have the bulk to survive hits. It doesn't do the damage that you want to have. But I feel like Morgrem is in such a better spot, especially just doing like surviving those damage from the opponent is just so crucial. Being able to take 2 hits from a lot of the Pokemon, it's just something that completely shifts the battles. Even if you don't do as much damage as like the Grimmsnarl does, you are going to be able to just take the hits and you are staying in there for longer. And then with that, you are doing more damage in total. And yeah, generally speaking, I have to say that I enjoyed Morgrem a lot. I think Morgrem is a fantastic Pokemon to have. And I think it's a Pokemon that's super worth it to get as well. It's a very unique typing. It's a type that nobody else can basically copy there as well. And that is kind of already very good for a Pokemon that has alright sets and alright moveset, not the craziest in either of them to be fair, but just the typing itself just kind of carries this Pokemon here for sure. And now we can move on to the next opponent, where we will face the Scizor in the lead. That is going to be not ideal, but let's see on how we can deal with it. Scizor is going to be a Pokemon where it really depends on how they're going to play it. If they're going to go for Ninetales here, I can try to catch the next Ninetales on my Scizor here, but they stop out anyway into their Furret, and this allows me to go for a Poison Fang while still storing a Poison Fang as well. And this is going to be great because now I can go into the Morgrem and fully farm them down. We saw already earlier that here for this Pokemon, 2 Swifts and the fast move damage is never going to be enough. They go for the Trailblaze in order to make it a little bit more closer, but actually at the same breath they didn't even get to another charge move, which now allows us to just have more energy. But sadly they stop out in yet another Azumarill, and I tried to snipe the opponent's other Pokemon, that's why I went straight for my foul play, it didn't work out. But I can still reach my player off in time, which is going to be great, as this now does a lot of damage or gets a shield from the opponent, as we will get the damage in, which is generally considered a little bit better here in my opinion. I should have not stopped in here. This is a big mistake because I had the Poison Fang start to try to snipe them, but I just messed that up perfectly. And so I decided to still use a shield, get the shield from the opponent here as well. They still have generally a shield left though. And I have to go into my Morgrem now, which can take those hits. It can definitely take those hits. And everything is going to be here resisted from the charge moves, Trailblazes, Ninetales. But we are going to be in a position now where, of course, the Azumarill is going to knock us out. And now we have a shield still on the opponent's side. We only have our Morgrem left. We have a lot of energy, though, but we're not having enough energy to get to another move. And so we're barely going to lose this battle here against a matchup where if I just went for the play off against the foul play against the Azumarill, this would have been a totally different game, which he easily would have won. And so we have another Scizor in the lead here. That's going to be a matchup where, yet again, we are going to be able to just go for the full farm down. As we will see here, the shield coming up from the Nidoqueen and Ninetales just coming through next. And we are going to be able to go for the full farm down. Now, let's see what is coming in next here. It's going to be the Furret. Furret is going to allow us to get the debuff onto them. That's going to be great. We are going to have here the Altaria coming in. And we're going to try our best to go for the foul play. Foul play is coming in here. That's going to allow us to get the damage onto them. And again, we're going to be able to resist the fast move. We are going to be in a very good position as Morgrem is just going to be that part fairy type to the point that the opponent decides to just forfeit here. Final battle with this team. We are countering a Bastion in the lead, which is of course great for our lead. Not so great for the rest of our team, but it's where we want to face it anyway. And so we're going to be able to go for a Poison Fang here against the opponent. And we can swap out into the Morgrem against the opponent's Annihilate. And I can let the first move go, as it's going to be a Rage Fist, which is going to do resisted damage. We can go for the full farm down here against the opponent, knocking them out, and we are in a perfect position. We have shield advantage, we have switch advantage, we have energy advantage. Like literally there's nothing that we don't have here at this point. And we got the opponent quite low there, already a little bit lower at least, and we see the Troutman coming in. I can keep my energy, I can swap out into the Morgrem, and this is going to be a very good game. The team that the opponent played here is actually a team that I created as well, which is kind of cool, so shoutouts to you. This is a team that I only showcased, yeah, literally like not even a week ago on this channel, so yeah, shoutouts to you. Very cool to see the Trevenant, Annihilate as well as Bastion team. But our team kind of hardwalls that, and so yeah, this is kind of also about benefit of the Nidoqueen. I like Nidoqueen a lot here. I think Nidoqueen was, in my opinion, the best Pokemon of this team. I like Nidoqueen the most. Next one would be most likely Morgrem, and then actually, like, Mercury didn't really do that much. Like, honestly, Mercury just didn't really do that much. There are a lot of alternatives, but yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Morgrem is absolutely worth it, and I will see you then. Bye-bye.